Greetings, geeks. Welcome to episode 564 of Geeks in Space. I am Rob Commander Taco Malda, and I'm here today to join two of the greatest geeks you're ever going to meet. Rob Roseboom.
That's me.
Chris DeBona.
Hi.
How are things in the Fortress of Solitude?
So, the reason I did this is because the other day we were joking when I went full green with my lights here in the studio.
Can you do it?
Looked like, yeah. Okay, Google, set the lights to green.
Now, it's worth noting, Rob, that if we ever catch him not wearing headphones, that we could do this to him.
Okay, Google, set this to light green.
That's going to work. Watch. You watch.
Oh.
See, because
it's getting a little.
Oh, that's better. Here. Now I got some face. That's pretty good.
Jor-El, I have taught you. I don't know. I don't really know the speech.
I'd like to kneel before Zod. Can I do that?
Kneel before Zod.
All right, I'm excited about that.
Well,
It's
obviously work in progress.
Yeah, you'll get there eventually. I think if you turned the green down a little bit, you should just stick that way for the rest of the call.
Yeah, I've got this little control panel thingy. I'll
do you think Harryhausen knocked them all out of the park? No. Took some practice, right?
Okay, Google, set the lights to light white. White power.
Dude. That's now you got a hole in the side of your face. That's no good either.
Yeah, because okay, Google, set the lights to white.
I like the idea that as you're doing this, anybody who's watching this in a room with a Google device and a speaker, and by anybody, I mean Jake and Elon, their lights are getting all messed with.
It's probably true.
I'm wearing my headphones because I don't trust you guys. You could probably use my various wiretap devices.
A Siri addict.
I have both of these things in different locations of my home. I have no Alexa.
I don't either.
We only have Alexa here, so
they're really cheap. So I mean, they're like I just haven't found the device because obviously you don't buy the hub, you buy the thing, and you hope that the hub works with the thing.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Rob, you posted a sad story about manatees.
Yeah. This is heartbreaking.
Yeah, so
I really like manatees. They're nice creatures, and going to Florida so much, you manatees are a big deal. You go there and they're right there in the power stations, hot water outlets. It's like a hot tub for them. They're like hanging out there all the time. So you go over there when you're in Tampa, and you have the power plant in front of you, the gypsum plant on the right that takes the fly ash and turns it into radioactive wall panels, and then you have the manatees like frolicking, and so you have this little like manatee park, and some jerk did what now?
They etched Trump, the word Trump, into the back of one of the manatees.
They literally carved it into their flesh.
They did not cut it. From the way it looks, like manatees have very thick skin, and quite often they will grow like barnacles and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's more like scraped.
It's like a wash me on a manatee.
I have a couple of questions. Are there any natural wildlife people who do the barnacle scrubbing of manatees as a normal hygiene thing that I am just utterly unaware of?
You're saying it's an inside job.
No, I'm saying like this is something I know nothing about the care of a manatee, but like if you told me that you have to milk the musk gland of your large German Shepherd, I might believe that that's a real thing, and so therefore I might also believe that. Go ahead.
That kind of is a real thing.
Precisely. I've never done it. I don't really know the details. I choose not to know the details about milking the musk glands of a large dog. But there might be a hygiene related thing that I am unaware of related to manatees, but it sounds like this is just garbage people.
The beauty of most natural animals is that they don't require regular upkeep like that. Only when people decide to domesticate them, change their genes, their behavior through centuries of inbreeding, does that become a problem?
I mean, it seems to me that now that America is great, It is time for the MAGA group to work on the oceans.
This just might be his plan to expand the brand into, sea mammals.
Sure.
And
well, so there's two. Well, first of all, there's 3 outcomes. The first one, which I hope neither of you are endorsing, is that the manatee did this themselves. Like some weird manatee truther. The other option is somebody did it because they love Trump.
It was Antifa.
It was Antifa.
That's an Antifa. It was the Antifa manatee.
This is a false flag operation by the manatee.
Yep.
To sully the good name of Trump and his support.
Everybody knows that manatees are just in the pocket of Antifa.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the other alternative is somebody did this because they like Trump or because they don't like Trump and they want people to think, oh, this super fat mammal, it's kind of orange. It reminds me of Trump. So it can go either way. Either way, this is not nice. Okay, it's a manatee. It's a gentle creature. Stop messing with them.
And to be clear, the rules about interacting with manatees, I mean, you can't even go and splash by them.
Oh, really? Wow.
Go near them to harass them. I mean, it's
you
very,
can't run them
strict.
over with a Trump yacht parade. Also freaking happened.
Yeah.
Yay.
And you certainly can't scrape words into their back legally.
It is not okay.
That sucks.
The Center for Biological Diversity is offering a $5,000 reward. Go collect it, listeners.
Rob, did you also post the baby Megalodon story?
I did not.
Who posted this one? I just posted. Weird. It was in the channel.
Maybe I did.
Baby Megalodons were 6-foot-long womb cannibals, but it looks like it might be a New York Times story, so I can't read it.
Yeah, womb cannibal just sounds not good.
Well, that's why I felt like this seemed like a Rob thing.
I might have.
Basically, he gnaws his way out of the womb.
I've been on a lot of NyQuil. Who knows what I'm doing?
Aren't Megalodons dinosaurs?
No, they're sharks.
They're sharks.
They're ancient. Sharks. They're ancient, though.
They're not like dinosaur sharks.
They're dinosaur era sharks.
But this is another story. Like probably 80% of shark species are cannibalistic in the womb. So that part isn't new at all. That's just up there to make you say, "Oh, womb cannibals." You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was the headline driving the story.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, I guess it is interesting that a shark that might be up to 60 feet long has 6-foot-long babies, right? I mean,
for sure,
that's a pretty big baby.
I have met both of your wives, and I know for a fact that if either of them had a 6-foot baby, that they wouldn't be here anymore. Let's see.
Yeah, probably not.
You're almost 6 feet tall, right, Rob?
We're all 6 feet tall. We discussed this because we can all be trusted.
I mean, I'm just saying, maybe you have a
growth cycle.
Maybe you ate your way out of the womb. I'm just saying, it's worth looking into.
No, it's really not.
No. It's not.
Oh boy! Did you click on the glass bottle recycling truck? There you go. It's Jar Jar Clinks.
Jar Jar Clinks.
That just makes me happy.
They're gonna get sued.
No, they're not.
Now they'll get away with that one. Disney knows better. They only go after people now who try to put their copyrighted characters on the tombstones of their dead infant children.
Oh my god.
I wish that wasn't true.
In all fairness,
to the happy morning show of Rob, and Chris.
Right. In all fairness, I think when that happened, they actually paid. Like they gave that kid a lot of money. That kid's family. They have a policy. It was super shitty, but they enforced their policy. And all right, they did make it right.
I don't know.
I think.
Is it really all that goofy to not want your characters on someone's tombstone?
No, what would be goofy is if you put Goofy on your tombstone. I'm dead.
I was waiting for the second part of that pun. I was interested to see what character you were going to bring in. It's Daffy.
Oh yeah,
it's totally Daffy.
Yeah,
but Daffy Duck's, is that a Disney character though?
Donald and Daffy, right?
Yeah.
I think those are not. I think those are Warner.
No, they're not the same.
No, Daffy is Donald is Disney. Daffy is Warner.
Come on. Roseboom. You know, you're dealing with professionals here.
Hardly. Let's see. Okay, we've talked a few times about autonomous trucks, right?
Yeah. You're way more negative on their societal effects than I am. I think it's gonna be a net gain, but
Well, I think it's going to be a net gain in the long term. I just think that there's going to be a shitty half a decade in the middle. But that said, most of my opinions, I don't know how COVID changes any of that because actually, if you think about it, truck driver is one of the better jobs now. You just sit in a socially distant box.
yeah.
I mean, that's
They were socially distant before it was cool.
right. But yeah, this is a company that there's actually a couple of interesting bits in there that I thought were interesting. They talked about how their platform is different, and mainly it was because the existing ones were all built around sort of cars, and they were all sort of descended from projects that were rated that were connected to like those automated canyon races or the desert races that they would do like 10 15 years ago, and the thing is that because these are trucks, they need far more lead time in order to slow down and speed up. So their sensors are all like way further out. The article has specifics about the distances, but they're like an order of magnitude looking further away with their sensors than the other platforms, and their system was designed from the ground up with trucks in mind. But also, this is theoretically happening this year, and it's theoretically door to door, which, I mean, that's the first step.
Well, so like loading door to loading door, or like
I
is one
assume.
going to back up to my house?
I assume it's
unload
loading
it?
door to loading door since they're trucks.
Yeah.
And I've only ever had a truck come to my house once, and that was when I moved in.
Hmm.
Actually, loading
You've
doors
only moved with movers once?
into this house.
Well, I mean, come on. 1,000 meters ahead. Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
But that's the kind of distance that you need. If you need to, it takes you a full mile to slow down to stop. You gotta be looking different.
My dad was a truck driver for lots of years.
For millions of years.
For millions of years. Bob Roseman was a truck driver. No,
Mankind lived.
He was a truck driver for a long time, and they do take a while to slow down, but not like a whole mile. It's not like a freighter,
Sure,
or something, you know.
We're about to lose me. My computer is super wonky with the sharing today.
All right. Now it's nice to know it's not just me that has computer problems on a daily basis.
Well, no, it's just a problem with sharing the slideshow portion of today's broadcast. So we're just gonna stick with what we have.
That's fair. There's another article that I shared in there, the impractical but indisputable rise of retro computing. And the article itself, it has nothing to say that we in this call probably are not well aware of. But what I thought was interesting about it is this is actually a New York Times story. It's actually a pretty big deal about people like collecting Amigas and Commodore 64s and stuff, which is literally like a quarter of my YouTube views are generally in that sort of area. Daddy, he like watching people recap motherboards and play with computers made in the mid 80s. But it's just, I'm interested in this because this is there's a few parts of it that are cool, but the bummer is that COVID has dramatically driven up the prices of all this classic computer stuff because it's something that people want to play with. And everybody's trapped at home. So the eBay prices now for any computer made in the 80s are like way, way, way up. So you can't like go and get like an old Amiga. You used to be able to get like an old Amiga 500 or an old Commodore 64 for, $20, $30.
$50.
Now you got to go to, now everybody says you basically got to go to garage sales, but who the hell's going to go to a garage sale right now? That's not cool.
You mean a COVID super spreader garage sale?
Yeah, ideally, it's the kind of place where you can sing karaoke too.
Yeah. Or go and try to take over the Capitol. It's like a Amiga karaoke or Capitol invasion.
Pay $1 and deface a manatee.
Retro computing, because you have the coup in the Capitol.
Yeah,
okay.
about gone.
Yeah, all right. Quibi got sold for all their content for $100 million to Roku. So they went from what, like a almost $2 billion valuation to selling everything they had for $100 million. Swing for the fences, man.
Okay.
Now there's two of you. That's cool.
You know, let me reject me. Hold on. Remove me.
Oh.
Remove. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Sorry about that.
Now we're all in the corner of the screen because this plugin lays us all out weird. It's funny. There's no fixing it. I have to relog. So it's.
Oh, okay. We'll just leave it be.
Yeah, it's.
What I was gonna say is that, you know, I on the regular search for stand-up discs of Tron.
Oh, sure.
Cabinets. I sort of have a Google alert on that, and every once in a while I go, yeah, maybe today's the day.
That.
You know? But you know, every year it gets small. You know, the number of cabinets that exist, you know, just goes down.
They didn't make very many of those cabinets, especially like some of those cabinets are, you know, they numbered in the thousands.
Yeah, actually, this one may have even been less than that, but yeah, but they regularly would show up in California, you know, and I was like, I should buy it.
They had a Discs of Tron, Rob, at the Grand Roller Rink for, as far as I can remember, my entire childhood. So every time I went to the Grand Roller Rink, there were a few things that I would have to do. Among them, get nerds, a slushie, and play the Deadly Discs of Tron.
For sure.
Yeah, here's one on vintagearcade.net. $11,000, but it's out.
Whoa! 11 grand. Because I got
no, this is the Mama Jama right here. You know.
So I have Joust, an original Joust cabinet in my basement, and I got that for like $400. But you got that for $400 in like 20 years ago. Yeah, no, I got that in 2000. We also had Rob. Do you remember the Arkanoid table that we had at the compound?
I do. Yeah.
Nate got that for the office as an office Christmas present one year, and we played that thing to friggin' death. Player 1 no longer worked. We had worn the knob and the button out. So if you wanted to play Arkanoid at our office, you had to play player 2. And you just had to sit on the player, because it was the cocktail side, so you sit at it. So you'd press the 2-player start button and sit on player 2 and wait for player 1 to just die. And then you'd play player 2 on the other end of the cabinet.
Yeah.
Oh, we got echo. Blue says we got some feedback. I'm sure that's my fault.
I don't know about that. I mean, things have been wonky for me all day. Yeah.
Let's see. NASA Curiosity is now over 3,000 days on Mars.
Whoa. That's nice.
That's a big number.
You know, and it was designed to last, what, five days or something?
Right.
That's amazing. You know, I love how NASA will sometimes just over-engineer things.
Sometimes?
You know? See, it's happening again.
Right.
This is a weird one. I'm probably in some like weird, like half updated state.
Oh, great. I mean, if you're anything like me, then the odds of your computer breaking at any given moment are like 1 in 3. I won't lie, I'm having a minor anxiety attack before we record the movie tomorrow night. I did watch the first half of Aliens last night. God, that's a great movie.
It's a great movie.
Okay, we had that was the last one that I had on the list.
Well, you had Roku buying Quibi content for less than 100 million.
Was that what we were talking about when you disconnected?
Oh, maybe.
We mentioned it.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
$100 million, and you get a copy of The Princess Bride, recorded by 100 famous people using camcorders.
It's not a valuable selection.
No.
I don't know why Roku did it, honestly. I'm like, what's the point of this? You know?
Oh,
like,
it's because
do they want to make money from YouTube?
No,
you know?
well,
like
no.
Watch that stuff.
This is a no-brainer at that price, because they had a ton of shows. If you look at the list of what they had in production, they had like a bunch of like regular content. Like this is probably one of the cheaper ways to go get yourself a big block of content, because The people who own the stuff that people want to watch, your NBCs and your CBSs and your ABCs, your big corporations, they're not selling large chunks of content anymore. They're pulling it all back in because every single content provider's got to build their own streaming service now. And so Roku is kind of in a hard place, right? Roku doesn't have original content, so they can't compete with your CBSs because everybody needs their all access. Did you guys watch the end of Discovery yet?
No.
Yes.
Is
Rob?
it good or bad?
Go ahead, Rob.
I want to hear what you have to say before I spoil it.
I didn't think the ending was any worse than any of the season. That's what I'll say.
That's fair. I thought that the season has been really, really spotty for me. There were a bunch of things that I really, really liked this season. I feel like they're actually on the right track this season, but I think that they have a problem. And this is something that you've heard me mention before, and I think that this is a problem of ensemble TV shows in modern productions. I think that a lot of the episodes have the first 15 minutes setting your thing up, then the middle half of the show where two or three of your characters go to a place, and then there's a thin plot line tying them back to the main show, and then they do whatever the thing is that they needed to do in the place, which doesn't actually matter. They get a MacGuffin, they press a button, they do a thing, it doesn't matter. Then they come back and everything gets all resolved in the last 5 minutes. And they, like, a lot of the episodes followed that, and in almost every case, I felt like one of the two parts, either the lead-in setup or the place that they went, was boring. I don't think there were any episodes where the whole episode cohesively felt like one story, interestingly told start to finish. They feel like two stories bolted together with some duct tape.
For sure. What happens in the main storyline, you can't help but think, well, this could have been 3 episodes. Why did you the worst tacticians ever? Because you end up doing what you talked about doing sort of at the beginning, but you just didn't do for whatever reason.
You know what it actually reminds me of in a really weird way is, you know how modern episodes of The Simpsons, especially, the first 5 minutes of modern episodes of The Simpsons have nothing to do with the episode, and then they transition, and then they have the last 2/3 of the show. It feels like that.
I also kind of felt like the last sort of secondary storyline about, the burn.
Yeah.
That I thought that was really stupid.
How they resolved it? Oh yeah, that was I actually watched that scene twice.
I don't want to spoil it, but at the same time, I want to postulate: was it something really stupid, like like the flower ships? Was it like that level dumb?
It might actually be Orchid dumb.
Is it Orchid dumb?
I think it's worse than Orchid dumb.
It's not Orchid. It can't.
I could come up with a reason why your weapons would look like orchids.
Rob, I think you're right. I think it's dumber than orchids.
Yeah,
man, the orchid things were so dumb.
The orchids were stupid, but okay, fine. There's an extra dimensional being that we don't know about. The Star Trek is full of that, right? There's tons of extra dimensional beings we don't know about.
If it was Q who caused the burn,
right?
Oh, what Q causing the burn would have been not
better.
As stupid.
Yeah, it would have at least made more sense.
Yeah,
I thought it was dumb, but what I did really like is I thought that the last 5 or 10 minutes of the show were actually really nice, and I think that they did a great job of setting up what I want for this show. Which is, as I've said 1,000 times, a crew of people who generally liked each other going into unknown places and having standalone science fiction adventures. And they are now in the future doing that, like where they don't know what's going on. They downgraded their computer to their old computer. Like they did a lot of reset. They're getting rid of a couple of characters. They could do next season good. Probably not.
Probably not.
I liked how they ended the season, but it's nice that I like most of the characters that are still on the ship.
I like Saru.
I think they might have got rid of him.
Oh man.
Well,
fishy.
they did make him an integral part of one of the stupidest things.
Yeah. Yeah. So Rob, I mean, you can mock me if you want, but I liked the emotional payoff that they had in a couple of sequences, a couple of parts there with those characters. I thought there was a real honest emotional payoff there, which I liked. But the problem is that it's hard to have an emotional payoff after something so stupid.
Yeah.
I guess.
Without giving too much away, if that person wasn't a grown person, a grown entity, if it was a child yet,
totally
that would have had emotional pull.
But again, that's why that whole scene is so, the way that they staged it, the way they set that all up, it's so dumb.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. That was the only other thing on my list. We have Aliens for tomorrow. We have when do you guys know when the coup is officially scheduled, like the final version of it?
You mean of Donald Trump's presidency?
Yeah, when the official insurrection is finished and we launch into a glorious leader's second term.
I think we're supposed to have a bunch from the 16th through the 20th.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
You should set your TiVo appropriately. your Quibi Roku appropriately.
Hey Quibi.
I'm less than an hour from the Capitol, so
that's right.
I'll let you know. I'll know first.
I hate to say it, I've been watching. There's a hashtag no fly list, and it's basically people who invaded the Capitol getting pulled from airplanes.
Yeah,
it's strangely satisfying to watch. I sort of feel like this is the Quibi of revolutions because it's very short-lived, it's ineffective, and in the end, it just doesn't matter. But
you say that, but it hasn't happened yet.
It ends with a bunch of short-form content that's very entertaining.
Again, you're assuming that it's done.
Oh, it better not be done. If there's no consequences, it's
we're
going to be having.
No, that was the warning shot, man.
The shaman The shaman is on a lazy hunger strike right now.
That's right, the Q shaman.
I need organic food. And it's like
he needs non-GMO food, and they haven't provided it for him. So he's
where is he in jail? It would be so appropriate if he were like in what's his name, that Joe Apario's jail.
In Arizona,
yeah, and all he's eating is like 2-year-old refried beans out of a can
and green bologna.
That's right,
and green bologna. Yeah. It's iridescent.
They can probably put him in that New York jail, where people totally never hang themselves.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be appropriate, wouldn't it?
Yep. No, I don't. This ain't over, man. Something horrible's gonna happen. No, something horrible's gonna happen in the next 8 days, and I'm terrified.
Yeah. Strangely, I'm optimistic. I don't think anything's gonna happen. God. I think there'll be a lot of police presence everywhere. Maybe a few minor skirmishes, but I don't think anything major is gonna happen.
That's why I guess
everyone. I mean, it was bullshit. But in the grand scheme of death and life lost, the storm the Capitol thing, 4 or 5 people died through that whole process?
Yeah.
Right?
5 so far.
And look at how repulsed everybody is.
That's the thing, though. I don't know that they are. Read Fox News for like 20 minutes.
I have. Even Fox. The only people who are really, really behind any of this yet are Newsmax and Ohm. And
I guess what I'm not seeing is condemnation.
Oh, there's a lot of it.
There's a lot.
Okay.
And we were before this. We were just talking about how all the rats are getting off the Trump ship now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they were gonna anyway because it's the end of his term.
Yeah.
And they're sure. I was never with that guy. That's crazy.
But they're making it a point now to show you how they're leaving.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, having Bill Belichick refuse his
exactly
freedom, it's like, it's a little late for that, Bill.
But that was the one that struck me the most this morning, to tell you the truth, because they thick as thieves, Kraft too with Trump, and the fact.
Well, you saw that Adelson died today. Too,
yeah,
which is a very interesting thing because that might shut off that money spigot, to these jerks.
Depending on who has control of the spigot afterwards.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
I mean, that's the thing, man. Is I think that you know, a third, a quarter of these people are only emboldened by this. This goes back to, I was having a conversation with somebody the other day about deleting comments on websites. Yeah, you can delete somebody's comments, and 9 people out of 10, you deleted my comment, they get mad and then they go away. But that 10th guy, when you delete his comments, he gets angrier and angrier and writes bots and calls his friends, and he causes more damage than the 9 people that you deleted their comments. This is like, all you're doing is distilling the normies out of the crazy soup. And we're going to end up with just distilled soup of crazy. And things are going to get worse.
I think I'm okay with it because I think that the normies end up getting pulled towards the crazy. Mm-hmm. And I'm okay. You know, I think deplatforming's fine. You know, I think it's totally appropriate.
We can talk about that in a separate, whole different thing. All I'm saying is that when you deplatform people, there is a percentage of people for whom that is a motivating thing, more powerful than anything that you could have done. Like, short of putting them in jail or, you know, going to their house or storming their state capitol. It's those people are going to be mad. And I think that what you probably ended up with is, you know, some percentage of Trump's fan base are now fired up, and the only question is there enough of them to really cause a problem? Because it only takes one. So yay. I'm glad I'm not an hour away from any state capital.
Mr. Adelson began his rise in 1979 when he and 4 partners started a Las Vegas computer trade show called Comdex. Born from the ashes of hell and sewage, he rose to be this powerful guy.
Yay! I'm gonna press the goodbye button.
Yeah, do it.
Do it.
Bye, Rob.
See ya.
Bye, Chris.
Bye.
I was Rob Commander Taco Malda. This has been Geeks in Space. We'll see you tomorrow. We're watching Aliens.